Hello and welcome on back to Top 5 Scary. I'm Taylor, your casual crypt keeper, and I've got something for you today that you wouldn't believe. In the modern era, there are peering eyes and cameras all over. Camera talking to me right now. All these cameras recording, some of them are bound to pick up some pretty weird stuff, right? Well, we've scanned the archives for some of the weirdest finds around. Let's get ready to believe as we take a look at the top 5 unexplained phenomena caught on security cameras. Now, these are just the 5 I gathered, but I'm sure there's way more out there. So please, if you got a weird video that you want us to talk about on the channel, send it to us in the comments or mention it. We read them all, we love them all. Now let's dive into it. Number 5, the all-fours ghost. How did we ever find cryptids and other paranatural beings before we started putting cameras on every street corner and inside everyone's pocket? If for nothing else, the surveillance state era has made it significantly easier to find weird footage of things running around in the dark. Take a look at this creepy footage posted to Reddit, appropriately enough on the Skinwalker subreddit. Someone described it as a skinwalker caught on camera, but really it's just something weird, so it could be anything. Let's roll it. Pretty darn creepy, huh? At first glance, you'd be forgiven for thinking it's a dog or a demon monster or something, and it's only when you brave up and are willing to take another watch at it that you realize what you've been looking at is a human running on all fours, perfectly like an animal. This is one of the freakiest things I have seen in a good while, and I literally exclusively watch scary content online all day for my job. This actually made me recoil. I've never seen a human being move like that. Well, allegedly a human, that's why we're including it in this video. Could this be a human? Or is this another being altogether? Some powerful shapeshifter caught mid-transformation? Or is this just someone who had a really long night and is on one or all of the substances? Now, I did my best to try and find what I could about this bizarre encounter. Did a little digging. A few commenters on the original thread mentioned that this particular instance is more well known in Mexico, with locals saying she's known as the dog woman, and others saying that this is a well-known person who suffers from a degenerative syndrome called Unexplained syndrome. That's a gene disorder that can cause affected individuals to walk on all fours. I only did about 15 seconds of research of that, so don't trust me too much. If we have any viewers in Mexico who can illuminate us a little bit and who know about this particular woman, please sound off in the comments. We would love to know. But until then, we just have to speculate, so let me know what you think. And if you're looking for way more creepy clips of strange ghosts and unexplained things on security cameras, oh, we have got so much of that and then some. Make sure you hit subscribe, please ring that little bell so you don't miss a single video of ours, but do that at the end of this video, okay? Because I got way more strange things caught on camera for you. Number 4, security guard. Our next clip up today was also posted to Reddit and is a delightfully strange one. It's CCTV footage of a security guard working in Buenos Aires at a hospital late at night around 3 a.m. Now, traditionally, that is thought of as the witching hour, but you know, no big deal or anything. Anyway, let's take a quick little look at the clip and see what we can see. We can see the security guard get up from his desk, clipboard in hand, opening the bell, even going so far as bringing in a wheelchair for a guest who doesn't appear to exist. Watch this clip as many times as you'd like. You'll never see who he's letting in because they just don't seem to exist at all. It's unsettling. Now let's take a look at this. The Scully approach is that this could just be the musings of a very bored security guard who's working the graveyard shift at a hospital doing anything to make himself entertained. I've worked long night shifts by myself. I would do anything to pass the time. I do weird stuff when nobody's looking, so I totally get it. Now the Mulder approach, and that's why we're here, because we're ready to believe, is that this could be any number of supernatural things. A ghost? Some sort of demonic entity possessing the security guard and making him open the door. The way the guard does it all so routinely, as if he doesn't even realize something is so wrong, is unsettling. I think that's the word for it. There's something unsettling about this clip that's hard to describe. The clip went fairly viral for its bizarre nature, and the hospital clarified that the guard never registered a patient to enter. So either it was a prank or the demon just didn't give him enough information and just waltzed on in. Let me know what you all think. Is this a bored prankster or something supernatural sneaking on into our world? Number 3, the Ghost Hotel. Our next clip coming up is, well, it's this one that's made the rounds lots over the internet and the more paranormal, spookier sides of things. You'll be able to see why fairly easy, as this clip is baffling baffling and one of the more compelling pieces of paranormal activity caught on camera that I have seen in at least the last 3 to 4 minutes. The clip was submitted by the hotel security manager of the Wingate Hotel in Illinois. According to the manager, guests staying at the hotel were complaining about strange happenings going on the second floor. These guests were reporting everything from noise complaints, scratching, changes in temperature, loud disruptions like banging on the walls, scratching, and loud screaming, all particularly emanating from room 209. There was no history of anything suspicious happening in room 209 until this incident, you know? No whole family got killed or something, not a history of demons in there. This is the footage that was recorded of the security guard sent to deal with what was happening in room 209. The dispatcher sounds scared, telling the guard to wait for the police to arrive before entering the dreaded 209. After a brief entrance, the guard returns visibly shaken by what he'd seen. He demands they call the police immediately, and that while there was no one inside room 209, all of the furniture had been flipped upside down and stacked. I've got to say, it's always very refreshing when you watch a paranormal clip like this or something, and someone reacts normally, which is to say, getting the heck out of the building. Number 2, the ghost alarm. We got ourselves another clip from the ghost subreddit. Hey, what can I say? If you want to look at ghosts, it's a pretty good place to go. There's quite a lot of ghosts already there. This one was posted to us from user Reman8 with the caption, "Something set off the security footage on one of our properties. Nothing was stolen. This is the footage." We'll play it for you now. Pop those peepers wide on open. You're gonna need to look real closely for this, okay? Take a look at this spine-tingling footage. Did you see it? This is one of those ones I had to watch twice before it popped out at me, and then I nearly leapt out of my chair. So don't feel bad if you need to scoot back 30 seconds to try and catch that one again. It's very, very slight. At first glance, it might seem like nothing is there, but when you really pay attention, you can see the faintest silhouette of a figure creeping through in the background, seemingly walking through thin air, barely able to make it out. I know logically this is probably just a camera glitch or something, but that ghostly outline of a person is enough to send a shiver up and down my back. The poster claims that the front door to the property was opened, and that's what triggered the security footage. Well, who could have done that if not for this malevolent spirit? One commenter suggested it was possible that energy dispelled by the ghost could have been what set off the alarm and opened the door, and that's why it looks so spectral and ethereal on the footage, just this sort of like translucent shimmering figure shape. What do you think, internet comment hive mind? Is this some real proof of something from another world walking into ours, or is this just some dust and light hitting the camera weird and our eyes are filling in the details we wish we were seeing? Please do let us know down below. I did a little digging on it myself, and the Redditor returned to the same thread after a whole year and reported that nothing else like this had ever happened in that year, and that he hadn't found any evidence of spirits in the local area or anything strange happening in the house before they moved in. So maybe it was just a one-off haunting, but still, one haunting is more than enough for me. Very, very unnerving. And number 1, the ghost office. Coming in at the final spot for today on horrible spectral encounters caught on camera is this creepy footage from a Manchester office. Now, yeah, an office, that's already kind of creepy and liminal enough and scary, but that's not what we're talking about. The footage is the actual footage security guards were flicking through on the early hours of November 1st. It looks like a regular old office, if not a bit drab, but then the Skinamarink style horror starts to turn from regular boring security detail to full-blown horror movie at one key moment. At 3 a.m., wouldn't you notice? The witching hour. Things start to get weird. All the computers in the office flicker on at the exact same time. All the chairs start to get thrown around. Cabinets opening when they shouldn't. Objects rattling off as if a massive spiritual disturbance is happening. Now, it's more than just a little bit too perfect that all of this supernatural stuff happened at 3 a.m., which is sometimes referred to as the witching hour, for the belief that it's the time of the day when the veil between the spirit world and our world is weakest, and spirits are free to cross on over to wreak a little havoc in ours. I've got to say, if this is faked somehow, this is a superbly impressive fake with an impressive amount of effort put into it. More effort than I've seen in most horror movies, and a good budget. Whoever was faking this had dedication, time, and a really good sense of atmosphere. But at the same time, it's so perfect a clip. I don't know. I have to ask myself if it's real. Would ghosts really be so punctual to arrive at 3 exactly? Would a ghost even need to get somewhere on time? You've got all the time in the world. And if I had all the time of the afterlife, I certainly wouldn't be rushing towards an office. I get enough office time in my regular life. Well, my ghouls and goblins, that's about all she wrote for this one. Let me know which of these clips spooked you the most, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Creep on creeping on.